Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 48, verses 13 through 22. And now Jacob is going to bless Ephraim and Manasseh, going to bless the sons of Joseph. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near him. And so Joseph is trying to position his children under the correct hands of Israel, of Jacob. And so he's trying to take the oldest one, Manasseh, and push him toward Joseph push him toward Jacob, so that Jacob's right hand is going to be on the head of Manasseh and bless him. And the right hand was considered the hand of favor. So if you're putting your right hand on someone, you would be giving them a more favorable blessing. And so Joseph, because Jacob could not see well, Israel could not see well, so he wanted to make sure that the oldest one was going to be at Jacob's right hand. And here is what Jacob does. Here's what Israel does. Verse 14, and Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it on the head of Ephraim, who was the younger, and his left hand on the hand of Manasseh, crossing his hands, for Manasseh was the firstborn. So So Israel knows, Jacob knows that Joseph is going to put the oldest one on his right hand. So he takes his right hand and he crisscrosses them to make sure that his right hand is going to be on the younger one. I wonder why Jacob would do that. Because Jacob's the younger child, right? He knows the pattern that God has been making is that the younger one seems to be the one that receives the blessing. So he crisscrossed his hands. And Joseph is going to be displeased about that. And he blessed Joseph and said, the God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life long to this day, the angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the boys. Oh, what a great phrase. Bless the boys. Would that be on our lips? To bless the children, and that God would be so kind to them. And in them let my name be carried on, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. May they be large. Verse 17, when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, he's like, oh, wait a second, Ephraim's the younger. Why do you got the right hand on him? It displeased him, and he took his father's hand to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. So Joseph is like, hold on a second. That's the wrong kid. We need to switch your hands back. So he's forcefully taking Jacob's hand off of Ephraim's head and trying to put it on Manasseh. And Joseph said to his father, not this way, my father, since this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. But his father refused and said, of course, he said, I know, my son, I know what I'm doing. I want to bless the younger one. He also shall become a people. So he's saying you don't need to worry about Manasseh. Manasseh is going to be blessed. You don't need to worry about that. He shall become a people, and he also shall be great. Nevertheless, his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his offspring shall become a multitude of nations. And so this here is an attitude for us to adopt. His younger brother shall be greater. God truly does choose the things that the world despises to put to shame those that those that are in high places, those that have great privilege and great benefits. God uses those that are lower, quote, lower, that are despised to put to shame those in high places. And so it doesn't mean that younger siblings are less than the older siblings, but we know in this culture, the oldest son would receive the main of the blessings and would be the one that would become in charge of the family. And so here we see that God is saying, no, I'm going to use the younger one with the culture and everybody else is despising. They are going to be the one that is great. And that happens in all the situation that we've seen through these patriarchs. This has been a significant theme in the book of Genesis. So it's right that we see Genesis end in the same way. So he blessed them that day, Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, By you Israel will pronounce blessing, saying, God make you as Ephraim and Manasseh. He's saying all of the nation of Israel is going to actually be asking people to become like Ephraim and Manasseh. Thus he put Ephraim before Manasseh, even though Manasseh is the oldest. Then Israel said to Joseph, Behold, I am about to die, but God will be with you and will bring you again to the land of your fathers. What a great promise for us to claim for ourselves, because that promise is not just for Joseph, and it's not just for the people of Israel. God will be with you. God promises to never leave us or forsake us. God is always with you. Perhaps you're maybe in a down and out spot, or you feel forsaken, or the day has just been a bad day, or yesterday was a bad day. I think you need to remind yourself that God is with you. And would you call out to Him? Would you cast your cares upon Him even right now, knowing that God loves you, knowing that God is promised to be with you, and knowing that God will work together all things for good to those who love Him and who are called according to His purpose. God will be with you. Verse 22, Moreover, Jacob says, Moreover, I have given to you, rather than to your brothers, one mountain slope that I took from the hand of the Amorites with my sword and with my bow. Now, we don't know what war or battle Jacob is referring to, but apparently he had a skirmish with the Amorites there in the land of Canaan, and that he had conquered or had given to him this mountain slope. And he's saying this is going to be Ephraim's and Manasseh's. It's going to be for you, Joseph. I pray that has been a help to you and a blessing, and I'll see you in the next video.